Okay, so for more piecewise functions and a little bit higher level questions for piecewise functions, in this case, we have a function set for f of x. So we got Frank, Gertrude, and Harry, and then within those, there are two different functions each. So you have to make sure you're paying close enough attention to pay attention to whether we're looking at Frank, Gertrude, or Harry, or f of x, g of x, h of x. So we're going to start on the two on the bottom. Also, just so you know that they're not that much different than what you've been doing already, this just says that we're going to do 3 times an answer plus an answer, the 3 on the outside. So we're going to do f of 5 and h of negative 2. So these below look like the problems you've been doing a lot of, even since Math 1, except in Math 1, it was just function notation and you were given just a couple functions instead of lots of functions. So f of 5, we're going to look at f, which is going to be our blue and our orange, and we have to decide, is 5 less than 0 or greater than or equal to 0? That equal to, remember, is inclusive of 0, and you want to have that conversation with yourself every time you look at them, like which one is inclusive, which one is not, because that's one of the big mistakes that people just grab a 0, and especially when you see both of them are 0, where you stumble a little bit. So if it was 0, we would use our orange. In this case, it's 5, which is greater than or equal to 0. So then our f of 5 is going to be an orange function. And I'm just rewriting it below it to show you that it is the same work that you've been doing. So f of 5 means I'm going to take that function that falls in our orange. So that's x squared plus 1. And our x value is 5. So 5 squared plus 1 is going to give me 25 plus 1, which is 26. So 26 is going to go in the place of f of 5. 26. And that's a throwback to your function notation. So f of 5 means that 5 is your x value, and this would have been written f of 5 equals 26. And so that's f of x equals 26 would have been old school style questions. So this is asking what is x when y is 26. But in this case, we are just substituting in our output for our output, because this is f of x, which is the same thing as y. And this is our y as well, y being the output. Looking at h, we're going to go to our h function. So we're either green or purple in this case. And h of negative 2. So that's when x is less than or equal to 1 or x is greater than 1. Greater than 1 is going to be purple. Again, green is inclusive, or the first function is inclusive of that 1. So if it was 1, we would definitely use our green function. H of negative 2. Negative 2 is to the left of 1, so less than 1. So this is going to be a green function for sure. And we're going to pick that negative 2, and we're going to plug it in if there is a function with an x value. In this case, there is not a function. There is just strictly an answer. So these are my favorite kind because the math is done. So any number smaller than 1 in this function set, with this set to be as your reference, will always be an output of negative 7. So we're going to put our negative 7 in there for our h of negative 2, because remember, again, this was our green one. And then to answer this question, we're just going to expand or condense this expression. So 3 times 26 is going to give us 78, and then we're going to add a negative 7, which gives us 71. So the answer to this question is going to be 71. 3 times 26 again was 78, and then add a negative 7, which is the same thing as subtracting, is how we get to that 71. All right, so looking at this guy, again, I broke it down below. So as soon as you get one of these, if it makes more sense to you, break it down and simplify so you can do it step by step. And again, when we're done with this, all this work, we're going to do 4 times an output divided by an output plus an output. And these two have no number in front of them because there's no number in front of your letters. So you're notating. So Harry and Frank do not have numbers in front of them. In this case, we're going to do g of negative 6. So we're going to go to our pink or our yellow function and decide, is negative 6 less than negative 4, or is it greater than or equal to negative 4? And again, inclusive would be the equal to negative 4. So negative 6 is less than negative 4. So we're going to use our pink function. So this is going to be our pink function. And so that means we are going to use that negative x minus 3. And in this case, our x is a negative 4. Be careful of the minus minus. That's going to give you a positive 4. minus 3, which gives me 1. So 4 times 1. So 4 minus 3, yep. It's going to be a 1 on the top. So it's going to give me a 4. And then let's go H. So we're going to look at our H function. So that's green and purples. So we need to decide, is negative 12 less than or equal to 1 or greater than 1? Again, it is less than. So we are going to use our green function. And again, as I mentioned, that's our favorite because that means we just have an answer of a negative 7 and we're done. There's no math to be done. So we're plugging it in the place of H of negative 12 is equal to negative 7. We're going to go look at our F function, which is either blue or orange. We have a positive 2. Is positive 2 less than 0 or greater than and equal to 0? So again, orange is inclusive of 0 and 2 is greater than 0. So this is going to be an orange function. And we are going to plug in the x squared plus 1. So x squared plus 1, and our x value is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is going to give me 5. So we're going to plug in a 5 here. And then we're just going to simplify and reduce as far down as we can. So 4, negative 7 plus 5 is going to give me a negative 2. This is reducible. 4 divided by 2 is going to give me a negative 2. So the answer to this equation is negative 2. All right, so another fun one. Lots of fractions. There's 3 of them. This will be the last one for this video, though, guys. So reach out if you need more help. Or even pause it and try it. I mean, what happens if you mess up? Nothing. So f of negative 4. So we're going to go look at our blue and our orange functions. And we have a negative 4. Is negative 4 less than 0, or is it greater than or equal to 0? It is indeed less than. So we're definitely going to use our blue function. And I'm just going to write below it. So f of negative 4. Remember, this 2 is just hanging out because it's going to be 2 times an output plus 1/3 times an output minus an output after we solve all the way through. So looking at the f of negative 4, so we're using the blue function. 2 times our x value minus 4. And our x value was given to us as a negative 4. So 2 times a negative 4 is a negative 8 minus 4, which is going to give us a negative 12. Now moving right down the line, 1/3 just hanging out for the moment. So we're looking at G. So we're now in either our pink or yellow functions. That's a negative 12. So is that greater than or equal to negative 4, or is that less than negative 4? It is less than negative 4. So again, we're going to plug it into our pink function choice. So this is going to be our pink choice, and that was minus x, or negative x, or the opposite of x might even make it more sense as soon as you see that negative. The opposite of x minus 3. In this case, we have a negative 12. So minus minus is going to give me a positive 12. Minus 3 is going to give me 9. So 9 is going to go right here. Moving right along, I just put the minus up here, again, keeping up with our operations and anything in front of our variable or our letter. So h of 3, we're now looking at purple and green functions. We're looking at a positive 3. So is a positive 3 less than or equal to 1, or is it greater than 1? In this case, it is greater than 1. So we're going to move down and use our purple function. And our purple function is 3 times x minus 5. In this case, our x value is 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, minus 5, give us 4. So 4 goes in here, and then we're going to just work straight down the line. So 2 times a negative 12 is going to give me a negative 24, plus 1/3 of 9. Remember, multiplying by 1/3 is the same as dividing by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is going to give me 3, then minus 4. So negative 24 plus 3 is going to give us a negative 21. Minus 4 will give me a negative 25. All right, guys, hopefully that ironed out some misconceptions or is a great introduction. If you need anything, email me, call me, get the help you need. Reach out.